into this house, I knew there was something else right here with us, but they wouldn't listen. In fact, given what happened, it would be okay if it was just ghosts, but it was something much more sinister. Of course, before I continue, please like, share, and subscribe so you never miss our must-watch STA videos. On the first day here, while everyone was inside unpacking, I chose to be here and kick a ball around. I learned to play from my dear late dad. Oops! I tracked the ball and found it right in the hands of a crooked old woman wearing a hooded cloak who seemed to have appeared out of nowhere. Her nails were so long, they almost wrapped around the ball. Ick! My ball, please?
The last owner of your house disappeared.
Finally, she let me have the ball, and I wasted no time in speeding right back to my house. Once I was at the porch, I turned around to take another look at the woman, but ick! The old woman was already behind me.
Stay away from the basement if you want to live.
Predictably, my mom and her husband didn't believe a thing I said when I told them about the old woman at dinner.
Gwen, don't you like the food?
You promised we'd have stir-fry.
This is Iris's favorite, and it's her first night here.
It's everyone's first night here. How typical of Mom. Whatever her stepdaughter wanted, Mom made sure she got it. It made me wonder if she still loved me.
Girls, this house is so cheap. Wonder why the owner just left it empty for so long.
The old woman next door gave me a good reason why. This house is haunted.
We have a scaredy cat at the table. Want some milk, little kitty?
Girls! Great news. I think I can buy that beat-up Volkswagen we saw for sale in town with the money we saved from renting this place.
That sixth-hand car? Ew.
That reminds me. We need to stay away from the basement.
Exactly what the witch neighbor said.
There was a fire in the basement, so it's quite unstable.
Great! A haunted house built on an unstable basement. What could go wrong?
Nothing's going to go wrong.
Here's a good life hack to learn. Never say, what could go wrong when staying in a haunted mansion you just moved into because your cheapskate stepfather found the deal of a lifetime? Because it will always go wrong.
Oh, sorry, girls. I'll make it up to you.
You can start with us leaving this house.
Maybe it's a good thing we've moved into this house. We might get to see your real dad's ghost. Iris! Girls, let's get cleaned up.
After our terrible dinner, I just cleaned up and went to bed. How could she bring up my father like that? How could Mom let her? It made me so mad. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every shadow in my room became a monster. I couldn't stop thinking of Dad. We had a happy family back then. No Iris, no new stepdad. Yeah, it's haunted. You know those horror movies where characters go into scary rooms and you're like, don't go in there, fool! Yeah. Well, when in real life, it's a lot harder to stay in the room than go check things out. Still pretty foolish. Iris? Mom? Mom's husband? Who's there? I have a stick. 2 sticks.
Hey, it's just me, sweetheart. What is it?
I heard something.
Maybe it was the sound of me coming out of my room.
I also saw something. Like someone down there.
You worry too much. And just in case you forgot, my name's Koshnuts, not Mom's husband.
I like Mom's husband better. After that, I had even more questions. What was Mom's husband doing out of his room at that time of night? What stopped him from going downstairs to confirm what I saw? Something was fishy with that man and this house. The sooner I figured it out, the faster I could convince my mom that we should leave and go back home. The next morning, I went for a run to clear my head, but my shoes chose to disappoint before I could get home. Ugh, bad timing, Mr. and Mrs. Shoes. Ugh. The problem with not having a lot of money is that you have to buy pretty cheap things with short lifespans. Ouch! Watch where you're going.
Sorry, I think Bigfoot just walked through here. Saw footprints. Looks like you're the Bigfoot I was tracking.
The guy was very stunning. Black hair, blue eyes. even had dimples. I'm a sucker for dimples. Dude, honestly,
Okay, you caught me. I'm just clumsy. I bet we've got the same shoe size.
are you looking for trouble? I knew I had unusually big feet for a girl, but being insulted twice by a strange guy, that's something I wouldn't tolerate.
Not at all. Actually, your house is still pretty far off. Just take them. Don't worry, they don't stink. That much?
Thanks, but what about you?
My house is very close by. See ya!
Hey, how did you know where I live? For most of that day, all I thought about was that guy at the park. His manner of approach had been really awkward, but his cuteness more than made up for it.
The sixth disappearance of a set of priceless paintings from the National Museum has the whole city in confusion. Who is behind?
The National Museum? That's just a few blocks away from here.
Just then, Mom came and cuddled up next to Dad. Ugh, my eyes. Did they have to remind me they got married like a month ago? I looked away from them only to notice something about the painting hanging over the fireplace. Hey, how did this painting of the horse become an antelope today?
Gwen, the house isn't haunted.
It's called evolution. The horse has evolved into an antelope.
So many clowns in this world. I'm serious. That was a horse last night.
Miss Grumpy Pants, what's your deal?
You are my deal. You and your dad.
Gwen, you know why you're seeing and hearing things? Because you won't accept change. You're determined to hate this house and everything in it.
You know what we need? A family outing. Do a little bonding? Might affect our budget for the month, but let's do it anyway. Next week?
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a pain. The last thing I wanted was to sit down and have a cozy chow feast with those two. I didn't ask for any of this. I was happy back home, at least while my dad was still alive. That evening, I found my first evidence to prove we weren't the only occupants of this house. Come here for a bit.
I don't want to wind up in the trash.
Look,
Okay, I'm looking at soda bottles. So?
nobody in this house drinks soda.
So who?
Exactly.
Are they a match, Sherlock?
Let's see where they go. I walked around the house only to see the footprint stop at a wall.
Oh, mighty sleuth wizard, you have found a wall. Brilliant.
Don't you know what this means? The basement.
Of course it does.
Iris, we found bottles. Tracks. I'm calling the police. At this point, I was majorly freaking out. I mean, who wouldn't, right? Hello? Police? Please come here right now. We are living in a haunted mansion. There's creaking, shadow people. Our food flew to our heads. A horse turned into an antelope. Now there's footprints. Hello? Police? Hello?
You know there's a law against prank calling the police. I'm telling Dad.
I couldn't believe that the police actually cut me off like that. And it made me wonder if I was actually going crazy. When Iris told my parents I called the police, they yelled at me for an hour straight. Just another terrible day. Early the next morning, I came out to the park again, hoping to see Frank, return his shoes, and maybe chat.
Fancy meeting you here.
Thanks. What's your name?
Don't tell me. I'm Frank. You sound like someone whose name will start with a J or maybe G. Gina, Gabriel, Gwen,
It's Gwen. How did you...
I'm very good at guessing. You looked really worried before.
I guess the new house and I aren't getting along.
Missing old friends.
There's that, and then I've been hearing and seeing things that make me feel like the mansion is haunted.
Are you the ones that moved into the mansion abandoned for decades?
Yes.
That house, there's, lots of stuff going on. Your family, you want to keep them safe, right?
Frank, what are you talking about?
Just the basement. Stay away from it.
So says the witch next door, too.
Hey, I know. Let's go to the arcade.
Was he asking me out on a date? Sure. What have I got to lose? The time we spent at the arcade was the most fun I had had since we moved here. Frank and I played different games, and even though he beat me at most, I won a few. All too soon, we had to go.
I haven't had that much fun in years.
Huh? Why?
I should go now. I'll call you.
For some days after I told Frank about the house, nothing strange happened again. I began to feel that maybe everything had been in my head. Just as I was convincing myself nothing was wrong, the house had other ideas. For the special family bond time, Mom and Mom's husband took us to a fancy restaurant. The three of them did the talking and bonding. I kept to myself. I watched Dad go red when the waiter brought his bill, and then he began to search his pockets like crazy.
I can't find my wallet. Do a mobile transfer then, dear. I had 10 grand in that wallet. That's the last of our savings till our next salary. Maybe it's at home?
With our luck, I just knew that wallet might never be found. The hotel management sent us home with 2 of their security guards, so we could get the money and settle with them. But when we got home, we searched the whole house and didn't find the wallet. Mom volunteered to clear the debt by washing dishes for the restaurant. It should have been her husband. He's the one that lost the money. The next morning, I came downstairs with one single thought: food. The pizza we left on the table was still there in its box. But when I opened it, each piece had been eaten save for the tomato rings piled into a pyramid as if to mock me.
What now? Ghost pizza?
This was supposed to be for breakfast, and you ate it all?
I didn't. And Dad doesn't eat leftover pizza.
I felt goosebumps prick my skin as I stared at the pizza. The pizza didn't eat itself.
Okay. Maybe a hungry burglar?
When I showed him the pizza, he got a tense look on his face. First your wallet, now this. There's something or someone in this house. Call the police. That basement.
No one is calling the police. Dad, I think I agree with Gwen this time. I'll throw this in the bin.
I was 100% sure at this point that he must have had a hand in all the things that had been driving me crazy in this house. And that basement would have the answers I needed. I was determined to check it tonight. The next night, I crept out of my room and made for the basement. I was very close to the short staircase leading down to the basement when I noticed someone's shadow behind me. Who's there? Iris. You can't stop me.
I believe you now. Either there's a thief or a ghost. Let's get him.
A smile bloomed on my face as we stared at each other for a few seconds, and she smiled back. Finally, someone believed me. Just as I reached for the basement door handle, my phone rang.
It's midnight. Who's that?
Hello? Frank?
Hey, Gwen. Where are you now?
Just in my room. Reading a book?
Yeah? Can I see a picture of it?
Just a minute. Yes, shame on me. I did just leave Iris there at the basement door, but I couldn't tell Frank what we were really up to. Back in my room, I just grabbed a random book and took a photo of it.
No, I don't recognize it. Hey, I was wondering if we could go out tomorrow.
Getting invited on another date with Frank? I forgot all about the basement. All I could think of was our date tomorrow. But what happened was beyond my wildest dreams. Our date the next day was going really well until Frank suggested we get something to eat. Thanks.
Anytime.
So, you were talking about your brother.
He works in the National Museum.
The one paintings were stolen from?
Yeah.
Suddenly, Frank began to stack the tomatoes he's eating into the same pyramid pattern as the one the thief left last night. Was Frank the one who had been haunting our house? Memories of how we met and how he seemed to know things about me even before I told him. Then, what about Iris's dad? I was getting some odd signals from him too. I had to tell Iris about Frank. I have an errand to run. Sorry. Bye. My mind was on fire. Was Frank somehow living in our house? When I got back to the house, what I saw did not reassure me. Mom, what's going on?
Iris has been missing since this morning, honey. Did you see her?
No, I left for my date early this morning.
She's new here and maybe got lost wandering. We'll find her.
By evening, there was still no word from the police, and I became very worried. Maybe Iris was missing because we had gone too close to the basement. I had to tell my parents everything. Iris and I tried to go to the basement last night.
What? Why?
We didn't go in, okay? Well, I don't know if she did because I got a call and left her there. Or maybe whatever is in the basement took...
Oh no! Maybe she went in and the ceiling fell on her. Why do you believe that there's someone there?
I began to believe all of you that it was just in my head, but it's not. All the clues add up, and I think that you are protecting whatever is in there. Suddenly, Dad stood up and advanced on me threateningly. I stood my ground.
What are you saying?
I called the police, told them I kidnapped a girl and hid her in the basement. They will have to check by force now.
Gwen, I don't know.
Why didn't you call the police when Iris and I asked you to?
We still owe our former landlady some money. I heard recently that she filed a complaint to the police and I didn't want to talk to them. It's true, Gwen.
Well, if Mom said it was true, then it was.
Open up.
We all went downstairs and opened the door for the policeman. Then we led them to the basement.
We got an anonymous call that a girl was being held here. We think it may be Iris.
Despite all the police efforts to pry the basement door open, it wouldn't budge. I think I know another way. I led Dad and the policeman outside to the side of the house I had seen the footprints disappear to. I fumbled along the wall, and suddenly, my hand hit a lever. The wall silently opened to the basement. I knew it!
Unbelievable. Everyone freeze!
Dad! Big sister!
It was such a relief to see her again. I was feeling so guilty. If something had happened to Iris, it would have been my fault. And in that moment, I realized I didn't want anything more for Iris than for her to be okay. Same for our dad.
Iris! How did you end up here? Gwen was right. I saw one of them in the house after you left, Gwen. He caught me and dragged me here.
We all hugged, and then I turned to look at the faces of the men who had been tormenting us. Frank? I knew it! You're a thief!
Not by choice. Please forgive me, Gwen.
The bearded guy beside Frank was his exact replica. It wasn't hard to put things together. Your brother works in the museum? Ha! More like stealing from the museum.
Let us handle this, miss. Great job. In fact, I'd say you're a hero.
Frank and the other guys were arrested, but because he was underage and truly had been forced into crime by his brother, he was given community service instead. It still hurt, but I could understand why he did it. And in a way, I was grateful. After all, if it were not for all the drama, I never would have figured out what was actually important. And what's that? My new family. We turned the basement into a game room. Hey, Dad.
Yes, Gwen?
It's Dad's last gift to me. Merle diamonds. Do you think it can get us something better than that beat-up Volkswagen?
Gwen, are you serious?
Yep. Why hold on to something that could make life better for us?
Thanks, Gwen. But the best place for this necklace should be right here. Your father gave this for you to keep. I'd never forgive myself if you sold this. And besides, I talked to the museum earlier today. Did you know there was a reward for finding all those paintings?
Really?
How much? We can get a real car.
New car, new everything.
We're rich. Gwen, I'm so sorry we didn't listen. You really are a hero.
Oh, I love you all.
I love you too.
After that incident, I tried to find the old woman again, only to find she had disappeared. Everyone said she never existed, but I know what I saw. What do you guys think? Was she real or something else? Something scary. Scary. Hi, my name's Pamela, and ever since I was a little girl, basketball has been my thing. Well, that's because Dad was a famous basketball player a long time ago, and now he's a coach.
When you score, you stand with one leg in front, one in back. Hold the ball like this, and then you score.
Like this?
Well done, baby girl. One day you're going to be a pro, just like me.
Dad loved winning, and because of him, I grew up and became the best in my team until I started having these strange dreams. I've been waking up from my sleep for 6 months now, and I haven't told anyone. My gut told me that was not going to last.
Come to us.
Oh! These dreams again. Wild, right? I'm from Kenya, born and raised here. I'm just your typical high school girl, determined and confident. But these dreams are something else. Please make sure you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Sometimes people think I have a big ego, but I just like making my dad super proud. Not everybody was happy about that, especially Sandra, a pretty girl in my team. Hey, what's wrong with you? Are you crazy?
Why didn't you pass the ball? I called out like a million times. You always want to take the win.
Chill out, girl. We still won the game. When she was about to push me again, the rest of our team lifted me up in the air, and Sandra just sulked like a rotten apple. After the game, I went straight to the shower room, but when I was done, all my clothes were cut into pieces, and I had no choice but to wrap myself up with the shower curtain. This girl had no shame. She looked at me with her cunning eyes, and I was so mad.
What's the matter, Pamela? You've run out of clothes.
This is not funny, Sandra. You can be expelled for what you did.
I'll just say it wasn't me.
I had enough of her. So I pinned her down and then Bradley, my boyfriend, appeared and pulled me off her.
Pamela, what are you doing?
This she-devil cut all my clothes.
She's lying. I think your girlfriend has lost her marbles.
Bradley pulled me away and started lecturing me as if I was his child.
We have a reputation to keep. You can't run around acting like a crazy person.
Whatever, Bradley. Bradley and I ended up dating because our fathers were good friends. I liked him sometimes, but most of the time he was so annoying, and I couldn't really be myself around him. Once he drove me home after school, I felt like singing to the music, and he just turned it off. Hey, that's my favorite song.
You're a basketball player, not a singer, Pamela.
Whatever.
You can't be angry about what I said. We need to know our priorities, and singing is not one of them.
I sing for fun. See you at the family dinner, I guess. Bradley was a bit of a control freak. Like I said, I couldn't be myself around him. Later that evening, my family went to Bradley's house for a family dinner we normally have every Friday. And this time, my dad had an announcement to make.
Everyone, can I have your attention? I just want to say how proud I am of my one and only daughter, Pamela. She just got accepted to study at the most prestigious university in the USA. And with some extra motivation, she will be joining the biggest basketball club.
I was a bit upset that Dad opened up my letter before me, but it was also an exciting moment. Wow, this is great news.
And I'll be there, right by your side.
My dad had some good connections in the USA for me to kick off my career in basketball, so all eyes were on me to do exceedingly well. That night, we were all great until suddenly I felt like a hammer was banging on my head. Bradley brought me a tall glass of water.
Here, drink this. It helps with my headaches all the time.
Water?
Yep, water. It cures the pain like magic. If the first glass doesn't work, try 3 more. You'll be fit as a horse.
Just hearing him talk made my headache worse. So my mom, who was the sweetest woman alive, kindly took me home. After I got home, I crashed on my bed. I must have dozed off because hours later, I could hear my mom's voice calling me from far away.
Pamela? Pamela, wake up.
Eventually, when I woke up, I was sweating and shaking. No idea what was happening or even where I was.
Pamela, I'm worried about you.
I keep having these dreams about the ocean and some people calling me into the water.
Okay. And how's your head?
I feel okay, except for my neck. And sometimes I get these really bad stomach cramps.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. We are going to the doctor first thing in the morning.
The next day, Mom took me to the doctor. I could tell something was wrong by the way he kept looking at the charts. Imagine my surprise then.
Everything seems to be fine with her. Healthy young woman. I can give you something for the headaches.
How can you not find anything wrong? I've been in pain for over a week. I have these nightmares. I need you to fix this. It just didn't make sense. How could he find nothing wrong? I got so mad that I just stormed off. When I got home from the hospital, my grandma was there. I hadn't seen her in years.
Oh, you've grown so much.
Yeah, Gran. It's nice to see you again. I've missed you.
Your mom tells me that you have been having some headaches, stomach cramps, strange dreams.
It's been a rough couple of weeks. Probably just a phase.
I want you to come with me to the village. I think I know someone who could help.
Someone like who?
A village healer.
Gran, I don't believe in all that stuff.
I think you should go with your grandmother.
I could see the worry in my mom's eyes, but I didn't want to go there. And just when I was about to reject them, a soaring pain went right through my back.
Come, we need to go.
Mom and Gran got me to the village as quickly as they could. Normally, I would have been thrilled to visit. Not so much today. Honestly, I couldn't believe what was happening to me. I was scared but didn't want to show it. My mouth was dry. Pain was shooting through every cell in my body. I wanted to be anywhere but here, but something deep inside was telling me it was going to be okay. Mom and Gran took me into this strange hut, and when we were inside, there was a man who was seated on a straw mat. He glared at me like a zombie. Mom, Gran, are you sure about this?
Yes, come sit.
My heart pounded as I sat down, wondering what was going to happen next.
Finally you have arrived.
Were you expecting me? Jeez!
Quiet.
This was getting creepier by the moment. No, I can't do this.
You have the calling.
I knew it.
I had no idea what he was talking about. And then he tied a black string around my ankle while my mom and Gran just watched.
There's not much time left. She needs to start the training before it's too late.
Too late. What are you talking about?
You have a calling from your ancestors to be a healer like him. It is a great honor.
What? No way, I don't want that. I'm going to the USA to be a famous basketball player.
She's still so young. What do we do to make the ancestors wait a little longer?
You cannot make the ancestors do anything.
Mom, do you really believe in all this stuff?
Yes, it's part of who we are.
Make them know. Ask them. Yes. She needs to come with me to the river and ask her ancestors for time.
This was a lovely experience, but I have a big game to practice for. I really wanted to go home, but Mom insisted we sleep over. I was tired and didn't even remember dozing off. The next morning, I woke up with another banging headache. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring my medication. Do you still have water?
This is the village. You can get water from the tap.
Just when I was about to argue with the guy for his bad customer service, a tall guy with the most beautiful brown eyes touched my shoulder.
He's right, you know. Everyone here drinks water from the tap. Tastes the same. Better, actually.
Haha, wow. I guess I have no choice.
I've never seen you around here before.
My grandmother lives here. I just came to visit.
That's nice. I'm Jeff. And you are?
I shook his hand, feeling so many butterflies rolling in my tummy. And do you live around here?
My grandmother does. I come here for my training.
Wow, you also have this calling thing too?
Yes. I'm guessing you're here because of that.
Yeah, but I don't believe in those things. I have to go now.
The pain and cramps only get worse if you don't accept it. It's actually not such a bad thing. It's an honor.
So I've heard. I walked away because I still thought the whole thing was crazy. At least, that's what I kept telling myself.
Aha. You two are back. Finally. So how was the village?
Creepy. Gran took me to some healer and he said I had some kind of calling from the dead or whatever. How crazy is that?
You took her to a healer and you didn't tell me.
I had to. She was in so much pain, and she has no choice. She must answer the call.
No, this is not happening. We don't believe in that stuff.
You don't believe in it? But I do.
Mom and Dad got into an argument and I let them be and went off to take a bath. I couldn't wait for practice. I felt good, but when I walked into the courtroom, my mind froze when I saw Sandra hugging Bradley. I couldn't believe it. Hey, what's going on?
Emma.
What are you up to, Sandra?
It's not my fault that your man is into me.
My blood boiled. I looked at Bradley, but he looked away, and then I walked up to him and slapped him. You two actually make a great match. It's like two snobs in the pod. Goodbye, Bradley. Thank goodness I drove Mom's car to school. Suddenly, my life felt like a complete mess. I sat at that intersection for 10 minutes, just thinking. In one direction, home. The other to the village.
We're waiting for you, Pamela.
I couldn't understand what was happening to me. It was like I was in another world. My head was spinning. I had to choose my path. When I got to my grandmother, she was gone. I just wanted all of this to go away. I didn't know what to do.
Emma.
Help! I need help! My head!
Come, we need to go to the healer. She needs help. Her pain is increasing. I can't help her because she won't accept who she is.
At this point, I just wanted it all to stop. I couldn't handle the thumping sound in my head any longer, so I burst out. Okay, I accept it. Just tell me what to do.
Come, we have to go to the river.
I found myself in the middle of a freezing river, wondering what might eat me below the surface. I still couldn't believe all this was happening just because of some weird dreams and headaches.
You need to talk to them.
Like how? What do I say?
Tell them what's in your heart. Ask for some time. You'll have to do this by yourself. We'll wait for you.
I was a little scared to be left there alone talking to my ancestors, so I closed my eyes and spoke from my heart. Hi, everyone that's here listening. I want to be a basketball player, but you want me to be a healer. I've never really thought of myself as a healer, see? So this is pretty weird. So why me? I opened my eyes and waited for an answer, but there was just stillness. I accept this, but I need you to give me some time to understand how all this works. And just like that, the headache was gone. So was the pain in my back. I felt so light, like I had nothing to worry about.
They have heard you, Pamela.
They don't say much, do they?
They do if you listen. Hey, what are you doing up so late? Don't you have practice tomorrow?
Yes, I do. Dad, I've decided to put my basketball dream on hold for a while.
What? No, you can't do that. Stop talking like that.
I'm answering the calling, Dad.
What about your future? America. This is all your mother's fault.
No, Dad. Not everything is about winning. If I don't do this for me, then I'll never be complete. It's who I am, and I accept it. Why can't you? My dad was upset that night, but I knew he'd get over it, and one day he'd be thankful. My training took 12 months to complete, and soon I was able to help other young people like myself.
I'm so proud of you, Pamela.
I would have never done this without you. Jeff and I got really close while I was training, and I kind of fell in love with him.
Where are you taking me?
To our daughter.
Don't be afraid, Dad. This is why I made my choice, so that I can help.
I don't believe in all this stuff.
Not yet. Dad eventually got better, and we were speaking again. I was a healer. I saved my father, and I was happy. And then, one day, my ancestors came into my dreams again. Only this time, I was listening. One thing's for sure, my ancestors were not subtle, and they were kind of hard to ignore. I didn't need an interpreter to know what they were saying. It's weird how life turns out. I always thought I was going to be a rich and famous basketball player, but that was my dad's dream. My ancestors helped me find my own dream. They showed me the way to be a leader and a healer. And now, thanks to their guidance, I feel complete being a coach and a healer. Something tells me that my new life is going to be just fine.
I came from a pretty decent family. Dad was the stay-at-home parent, while Mom worked as an accountant at the local bank. I had a sister, Mia, who was just a year older than me, and I loved playing with her.
All clear, Madam President. You can now make your vows. Thank you, Miss Mia. I pledge to be the best president this school has ever had. Thank you for voting for me.
My childhood dream was to become the school's president in high school, and Mia always supported me. But all of that changed when Mia had to repeat first grade because she wasn't school smart, and Mom wasn't too happy about that. One time, in 4th grade, after showing my grades to Mom and Dad showered me with praises. But when Mom saw Mia's report card, her smile vanished.
I'm sure you're proud of me.
You're happy you had C's? That's pathetic, Mia.
But I worked so hard, Mom. I even cheated on some of my tests so I could score better.
You're a disgrace, Mia. Why can't you be like your little sister Zoe? I give both of you the same amount of food, so why aren't you smart? Mom wouldn't stop talking, and it made Mia cry. I tried to console Mia, but she just pushed my hands off her body and ran off. Later that evening, I went to Mia's room with some toys Mom had just bought for me.
Hi, Mia. Would you like to play with some of my Barbie dolls?
But instead of replying, Mia shot me the deadliest look.
Okay, we can play Miss President or anything you want. How about we play Don't Talk to Me Ever Again? Huh? How about that?
Just like that, Mia pushed me out of her room and things were never the same between us again. Hey guys, my name's Zoe, and this is my story. As time passed, I got used to the new Mia and totally ignored her mean behaviors. One day, in 4th grade, I was awarded 3 different trophies for being the best student at school, and Mom was so proud of me. After my award, I couldn't wait to get home to tell Dad all about it. But just as we stepped inside, we walked in on Dad holding hands with our family maid. I was too shocked to speak, and before Dad could say anything, Mom blurted out angrily, "You ungrateful creature! Get out of my house this minute!" I watched with teary eyes as our perfect little family crumbled right before me.
Mia, go get your things too.
Wait, what? Not Mia too?
Although Mia was a pain in my butt, I still loved her. I tried to beg Mia to stay, but she just couldn't get out fast enough.
Finally! Please don't go, Mia! Mom, please tell Mia to stay!
But Mom, on the other hand, couldn't wait to get Mia off her back, so she did nothing, and it got me super angry. I ran to my room and cried heavily because I knew it was the last time I'd see Mia. Zoe, please open up. I already lost Mia and your father. I can't lose you too. Please, Zoe. But I was still mad at Mom because she let Mia go without even putting up a fight. After school the next day, I bought an ice cream and raced over to the skating rink where Mia loved to practice, waiting for her to show up so we could eat together, except she didn't show up. When I got back home, I saw Mom hanging up a call in tears, and my anger towards her immediately disappeared. Mom, what's the problem?
I just got off the phone with my bank. They said Dad wiped all the money in my account. All my savings are gone, Zoe.
Seeing Mom cry made me emotional, so I forgave her and hugged her tightly. Everything will be fine, Mom. Mom and I had to come up with a plan to earn back everything that Dad took. So we started baking and put up a stand for customers to come by. And in no time, we were back on our feet. Things were looking really good for us at home and for me at school. One day, while I was reading in the library, I was suddenly called to the principal's office through the intercom, and everyone looked at me. When I got there, I met the principal smiling widely at me.
Congratulations, Zoe.
Thank you?
I just got off a call with some lawmakers of this school. I'm glad to announce you've been chosen to be the school's president for this year.
What? That's so random.
You're the best student in this school, so you deserve this.
I was too shocked to come up with words to say. My childhood dream was finally a reality. I only wished Mia was still with me to celebrate the good news. Several months later, I was at the mall one day, restocking items for Mom's business. Then I noticed a girl trying to steal from an old woman. So I coughed out loud to stop her operations. When I moved closer, I was shocked to see the blonde girl was Mia. She looked thinner than a Victoria's Secret model and had dyed her hair blonde. When Mia recognized me, she tried running off, but I held her back. Mia? Oh, Zoe, what are you doing here? Shopping for Mom. What are you doing here? Why were you about to steal from that old woman?
That's none of your business, Miss Goody Goody.
Typical Mia. I was about to tell her how much I'd missed her when an angry-looking boy appeared from nowhere. Hey, babe. I looked at them shocked when my little sister called the shady guy babe.
Hey, babe.
You sound so dumb. I gave you only one job. Steal the purse and leave. Instead, you're out here making friends with whoever this person is.
Please forgive me, Kareem. This is my little sister, Zoe. She stays with my mom, and I haven't seen her in a long while. I could tell Mia was intimidated by Kareem, and this weird vibe he gave off made me dislike him instantly. Zoe, meet my boyfriend, Kareem. I gave him my not pleased look, and then Mia immediately took his hand to walk away. Okay, bye now. Mia, wait. I pulled her aside and gave her my phone to always communicate. Here, take this. Call me on Mom's number. Promise me you'll call? Yeah, I have to go now. As we hugged tightly, I heard Kareem's annoying voice.
Time up, Mia. We need to bounce.
I watched as Mia ran off into thin air with Kareem, and all I could do was hope she'd call me. When I got home, I told Mom I saw Mia at the mall, and for the first time in a long while, Mom's face brightened with a smile.
Did you talk to her? Did she tell you where they live now?
I don't know where they live, but I gave her my phone to always communicate. Mom just flashed a weird grin and left. Later that night, I talked to Mia through Mom's phone, and while she didn't seem as excited as I was happy that things might just work out for us again. But the next morning, I woke up to see Mia staring at me with eyes red like hot lava. Mia? How? Wait, am I still dreaming? Oh, please! Stop pretending like you don't know what you've done. You gave me your phone yesterday so you could easily track Dad and I down. Well, congrats, genius. Mom came in early this morning with the cops, and they took Dad away. And now I'm stuck here with both of you. I didn't know Mom was gonna do that, I swear. Also, Dad deserved what came his way because he stole all the money in Mom's account, and that's unfair. I wish I never saw you yesterday. You ruined my life every single time. Ah! Just like that, Mia stormed out angrily. In the coming days, I noticed Mia changed completely and now blamed me for anything awful that happened to her. But things moved from worse to crazy when Mom enrolled Mia into my school. For starters, when Mia heard I was now the school's president, she joined forces with some mean girls to disturb the school's peace just to get back at me. One day, a junior reported that Mia tried to stick bubblegum on her desk for no reason. I summoned Mia to my office, and as usual, she blamed me for everything. Well, I wouldn't be in your life if you didn't ruin mine in the first place. If you don't stop being mean, I'll be forced to use my office on you. Oh, Miss President, I'm so scared of you. Do whatever you want. I don't care. I tried bringing out the good in Mia, but it was as if she'd exchanged her heart for a big rock. I had a few months left to spend in high school, and I was preparing for my exams, when suddenly I heard people screaming outside the house. I rushed to where the noise was coming from, only to see Mia arguing with a customer in front of our lemonade stand. Mia, what happened?
This psycho here spat into my lemonade because I told her I wanted more.
Mia, why would you do that? Because Mom took Dad away from me, and now I want to take Mom's business away from her. I was so tired of keeping up with Mia's attitude that I blurted out angrily. I love Dad the same way you did, and it breaks my heart to learn he's gone. But Dad isn't the good guy here. Dad stole from us for whatever reason. You started picking pockets because Dad never influenced you right. Mom may be hard on you, but at least she doesn't make you do bad things to survive. You're such a jerk, Mia! And with that, I stormed out of there, boiling with rage. When Mom returned from work that evening, I told her all Mia had done, and Mom lost her temper.
I've done everything I could for you. I clothe you, feed you, I even saved you from that evil man that's supposed to be your father. But this is how you pay me? With more problems?
Oh, please, Mom. It's not like I asked to be in your life again. You came to pick me up after you called the cops on Dad. Remember? You know what? I'm done living with both of you. I'm going to stay with the love of my life. Don't look for me. That night, Mia packed everything she had and left the house. I was too angry to beg her to stay because she'd done enough damage in just the few months she stayed with us. When I got to school the next day, I noticed the school's trophy cabinet was as empty as space. I thought the cleaners had taken all the trophies out for cleaning, but when I got to my office, I met the principal, already waiting for me at my desk, fuming like a car exhaust pipe. My heart beat 100 times in a second as he started speaking.
I noticed all the golden trophies awarded to this school have gone missing, and you are the only one with the key to the trophy cabinet. But I don't believe you're the thief. I think someone else stole the trophies, which is why I would respectfully take this from you and relieve you of your duties as this school's president. I'm sorry, Zoe.
After speaking, the principal ripped the president tag off me. I felt my heart break into a million pieces like a fragile egg.
Please, pack up your stuff and submit the key at this office by the end of today.
With a heavy heart, I did as the principal had instructed. Unfortunately, news that I was no longer the school's president spread like wildfire, and everyone pitied me and started treating me different.
Aw, Zoe, I'm so sorry things turned out this way for you. Well, I made this for you. I hope you like it.
Thank you, but I'm good. Mom didn't act any different from my schoolmates either. She lavished me with gifts, hoping they'd make me feel better. In less than 3 weeks, I got over my loss and studied hard for my final exams. As expected, I aced all my papers and was the valedictorian for my class. A day before my graduation, I was trying to come up with the best speech when Mom walked into my room. I know you're busy, but I wanted to give you this one gift that I've been keeping for almost 17 years now. My eyes brightened as Mom showed me 2 tiny wrapped boxes, and all I could do was wonder what was inside those boxes. It's a gift from your dad. I mean, your real dad. Suddenly, my heartbeat slowed and I couldn't wrap my head around what Mom meant by real dad. This was supposed to be for you, and this for Mia. I was instructed to give the box to you a day before your graduation. Mom handed over the dusty, tiny box to me, and when I opened it, I saw a beautiful locket necklace with a little baby and a man's picture in it. Who are these people? That's your real dad. We lost him when you were just 2 months old. So, who is the man that stole from us? Oh, I met him a while after we lost your dad. I was scared of raising 2 girls alone, so I moved on and remarried. He was a good guy. I really didn't think he would betray me. Why didn't you tell me about this? And you just left Mia to go with him, even though he was not her real father? You were both little girls, and you knew nothing. I hid all your real dad photos because I thought I was protecting you from the pains of losing someone. And you're right, I was so stupid to have let go like that. I was just so angry at that time. I'm so sorry. It's fine, Mom. We just need to find Mia and tell her the truth. After that, I wore my necklace and sat up all night crafting the perfect speech. When it was time for me to deliver, I was called on stage. But just then, something unexpected happened. I saw Mia approaching me from the backstage and I froze. I was shocked, happy and confused all at the same time. I expected her to hug me and explain all